Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and I'm super excited to bring to you the world's best vet. She takes care of all of our dogs, and I really wanted, this is Dr. Stephanie Sir. She's at the Whole Pet Vet in Los Gatos, so if you haven't checked them out, do you guys have a waiting list? Do you have a...
No, we don't, so just call in, make an appointment for an initial consultation, and we'll get you in the next couple of weeks. Right now we have someone on maternity leave. So.
Okay. Yeah. So what's cool about their place is they take a holistic slant on all their animal care. So in our family, we felt like, why would you take a holistic slant on your family's health and then not do it for your dogs?
Right.
So the dogs are part of the family, so that's why we go there. But what I really want to talk about today is that but we both have had situations where both of our dogs got lymphoma. And for me, well, for both of us, we were really surprised because we have two households that are toxic free.
Yep.
I was feeding Roxy grain free.
I was feeding Nuka grain free.
Grain. So I thought I was doing the wheat free thing, and then my dog got lymphoma.
Mine got transitional cell carcinoma, but nonetheless, still a cancer that's really awful.
Okay. So, and it's a horrible experience, and you feel so sad for your animal. And so what I wanted to do was bring Dr. Sir on to talk about what you can be doing to keep toxins out of your household and what you should be feeding your dog. Because I think what you'll hear, what I learned in my journey, is that, oh my gosh, there's a whole world of toxicity for our animals, and yes, it is building cancer. So can you just start off, like, the home environment, like how do we detoxify the home environment? Like what are some of the basics that we need to know?
So we can't change what's in our carpet unless you're going to go all with hardwoods and they're chemical free. Same with all of our couches that are being, by law, have to have those retardants, those fire retardants on them. Our pets love to sit on the carpet and sit on the couch and then groom themselves. And when they're licking themselves, they're licking the carpet. So I try to tell people, make an environment for your dog. Get a chemical-free dog bed or cat bed. Okay. Let's not forget our cats. And put them and get them used to that. Train them to be on those surfaces rather than on your couches. Make sure what you're cleaning with, just like we talked about, is all chemical-free. Because they walk along and they sit and they lick and they groom. It's normal behavior. So they're picking all of those toxins up. So the first thing is, be as chemical-free for your pets as you are for yourself. I think that's the best way to start.
For us, we had and I didn't even think about my furniture. We had a plastic, well, it's kind of a vinyl red couch that I loved. It looked really cool. Yeah. And Roxy would lick the heck out of it. Yes. And the minute we got the diagnosis, that was the first thing I thought.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
exactly. And then toys. Think about, what are you letting them play with? All those things coming from China that have all of those toxins in them that we don't know about. Making sure that your food bowls are something like a stainless steel that you can clean with a nice soap that's chemical free. And clean those more often than we probably do is an issue as well. But I think making sure everything, get down on the ground. Where are they going? What are they doing? What are they putting in their mouths, especially puppies and kittens when they're teething, and make sure it's as chemical free as possible.
Okay, great. Okay, the other thing I learned was food. So I was like, what do you mean? My wheat-free, grain-free, organic food Pebbles wasn't enough? And sure enough, what I learned was she gave me a whole raw diet to follow. So just a general guideline for healthy eating for your pet. What would you recommend?
Yeah, so we are lucky here in the Bay Area. We have several options. We've got a lot of local created raw diets that are commercially balanced. So they're small batches, which is all, you don't have to worry about how balanced is it. You can get that. You can come get a recipe from me. We have one on our website. You can get news if you're comfortable, making that for your pet. There's also San Francisco Raw Feeders, which is a great group that gives a lot of information to all of their members on how to do it yourself so that it's balanced. Because unlike us who are eating, this vegetable one day and the next the other, and we really do get balance. We get into a routine with our pets where we're making the same diet every single day, and they won't get all the vitamins and minerals they need. So you have to really make sure you're balancing it. And not everybody wants to feed raw, and I understand that. It can be a little more costly, and it can be a little more involved. So I always tell people, think about how you bake something. So a kibble is just like baking a cookie. You have to put a lot of carbohydrates in it, and you have to heat it at a really high temperature in order for it to kind of pass AFCO standards, which is not really a governing body, but they give the rules and regulations for how you're supposed to make food. So you've got a dead food that they're pouring synthetic chemicals on to be vitamins and minerals, and then you're feeding it to your pet and they're eating all this dead food. So at the very minimum, I try, if people will not do raw, I put them towards a canned diet. At least it's got some nutrients in it. It's a little bit more alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And I know some people, like when we tell them we're doing raw, they're like, no, that's bad for your dog.
Right.
So cooking kills enzymes, right?
Correct.
And if my dog was out in the wild, he or she would be eating other animals, correct? And they wouldn't be
organ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They go for what's the good stuff, and they go
Right.
for the liver, they go for the kidneys, they go for the spleen, they eat heart, they eat all that, the brain even, and then the muscle meat is left for like the omega, the one.
Right.
So yeah, adding organ meats is really important as well. But you're
Yeah.
right, raw food, you're never gonna get a traditional veterinarian to say it's okay. There are studies in the works, and hopefully they'll be out pretty soon, and we can start to say, hey, look at how much better these raw-fed animals are doing, and they're not getting ill, they're not having salmonella poisoning or E. coli poisoning at all.
Yeah.
They're getting those from some of those commercial foods that are getting contaminated in their process of being made. But so when the studies come out, we'll have more to say about that. But
Yeah.
I personally think it's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and then the last thing was that in my discovery with my dog having lymphoma is I realized that there's a whole ketogenic movement with animals.
Which you told me about.
Right, I know. So we've been kind of geeking out on
Yes.
this, on what does it mean to eat ketogenic for your animal. So I switched to 1 meal a day.
Yep.
So my dogs do dinner to dinner fasts
Yep.
every single day.
Intermittent fasting.
They intermittent fast, and we do coconut oil
Yep.
and a ton of good, ton of good oil. I put brain octane in their
Awesome.
food
Yep.
before, so that's completely safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely safe. And there is a place called Keto Pet Sanctuary that is in the process of moving from Texas to California. They work with veterinary oncologists. They do this every day, all day, with pets with cancer. It can be for healthy pets as well, but pets with cancer is their kind of focus. And they monitor these animals closely, all their blood levels, all their keto levels. They're doing scans, watching their cancer tumors shrink and go away, and it is perfectly safe to do. That being said, there's a little bit of upfront investment. You have to do some blood glucose testing along the way. You should, if you can, do some keto testing.
Can you use the precision reader on
You
them?
can.
Okay.
You can. And they, if anybody cares, need to be between 0.03 and 0.08, a lot
Awesome.
lower than humans to
Okay.
be considered.
And what would you
just.
prick? Would you prick their paw?
You can do their paw, you can do their ear. On bigger dogs, you can do behind their elbow. There's that little pad right there.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to bother them as much.
Okay.
There are some great YouTube videos where you can, for diabetic dogs,
Right.
how to get that. So
Okay.
even for cats. So yes, easy to do. I have lots of my patients doing it right now with great results.
Yeah.
What else? You have to kind of learn how to look at their weight a little bit differently. You need to, what we think as Americans is like a normal sized dog is way too big. So we're looking to really thin them down on the ketogenic diet too. And sometimes that can take a little guidance from your vet, learning how what's called a body condition score. So like this is too much or this is not enough.
Yeah, Roxy lost like 30 pounds.
She looks great. Yeah.
We have a picture of her in December. She looked the best I had ever seen her. Like her coat was shiny, and she just went.
Yep.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there you have it. I would say, and what I learned in this process is really look at your toxic environment. I mean I didn't even think about so many things, and we already had such a clean household for our kids. I don't know why I didn't think about it for my dog.
Yeah, they're canaries in the coal mine.
Yeah.
They're so much smaller. They live so much less long that everything happens faster to them. And so when I see that in an environment, I worry about the humans.
I've thought the same thing. I thought that because we've had 2 dogs. Well, they're both Rotties, but we've had 2 dogs that had cancer, and I start to go, okay, what else is in this environment that I might need to control? Yeah, that I might need to look at. So look at your toxic environment. Look at your food. Big fan of a raw diet for your dog. And then don't be afraid. If you guys have been following me, I'm teaching you the ketogenic principles. Don't be afraid to apply them to your dog.
Correct.
So, and I can't say enough. If you have any questions, come find Dr. Sir. She's amazing, like amazing. Like our dog had our dog had a knee problem, and I was like, what and I bring all my unique things. I'm like, what do you think about lasers? Remember that we went through that, and then. I call her up, what do you think about the ketogenic diet? So she's really going to offer you a different perspective than your traditional vet, and we need more of you out there. So
Thank
you.
So are you.
And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and we both will be monitoring them. And again, she's at the Whole Pet Vet in Los Gatos. So hope